What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. We are back on some TrackDayR today, and I like doing one of these videos every now and then just to check back into the game, see where the updates are at, see what's being worked on. And I had a scroll back through the Discord. I'm part of the development team's Discord, and it looks like they've really just been kind of cracking on with a bunch of updates. And most notably at the moment, we can now sit down by ourselves. Previously that wasn't an option, you'd just be stood up all around the track. I do want to just say quickly, because I know people are going to ask, the track that I'm loading up right now is Redbud. However, it's a Redbud that has been imported over from Sim, and the developers of TrackDayR know full well that they haven't got the full permission to use it, so it is purely for development purposes. It's not going to be part of a full release or anything like that. I don't know if it's the RF version or if it's someone else's version. However, to my knowledge, they've tried reaching out to whoever made the track, and they've not heard anything back just yet. So this is purely something that myself and some other people on the dev team will be playing, just to get an idea of how the game's coming along with the physics and such, see how it goes. And one thing that I need to try and get my head around, actually, is can you see on the bottom right there, the riders illuminated in green? That's to indicate sitting down. So when he's lit up, I'm sat. When he's not lit up, I'm stood up. However, there is no option yet to have like a toggleable sit stand. So I think I am the minority on this, but a lot of people, they'll press the button once, like I just done, and your rider will sit down and he'll stay sat down until you press it again where he stands up. I like to have it where it sits down whilst I'm holding down my right stick, and then anytime I'm not holding down my right stick, they stand up. So I've asked if that can be a feature in the game, but to my knowledge, things that have been worked on, obviously, is the sitting and standing. Apparently the traction's been looked into a bit, because apparently it was very, very easy to slide out before, and also the in-air physics have been worked on a bit, so that is both the kind of just the gyro in terms of when you accelerate, your front wheel comes up, when you brake, your front wheel goes down, and then the whips as well they're trying to work on. So should we try and throw it sideways and see what's going on here? Oh god, oh, that was a little bit scuffed. We'll try and do it over an actual jump. That's quite a low tabletop there. And apparently, oh no, oh that's quite nice. I wasn't even leaning back then through the rollers. That kind of done it itself on the power. One thing that I was reading, which MX Way Gamer and Resolute Kraken seem to be discussing to the developers, is, oh hang on, I'll finish this. Can I hit the leap? Oh, stretch it out. Oh, there we go, barely. Getting a little bit of steez on for show as well. Yeah, apparently they've been speaking in regards to just some weird things. So what used to happen, well, it might still happen, I don't know, is on the Supercross track, if you hit some of the jumps a little bit too hard, it seems to like rob you of all your speed and momentum, and it'll slow you right down. I think that's being worked on ever so slightly. What else to my knowledge? I don't know if there's a whole lot more. I know that they're experimenting with different sorts of traction, different soil types. I know that's been worked on, and I think behind the scenes the developers are also working on a tool just to help the future modders and track creators make their tracks more easy. Apparently it's a bit of a pain in the arse to where this runs on Unity. Like anytime Unity gets an update, apparently it's a bit of a pain in the arse moving things over, so they've worked on a tool that, oh my god, that was hella scuffed, that should help track creators and modders move all their things over nice and easy, which is good. It's nice to know they're not just working on the game, they've kind of got long-term plans in their head and want to make the game as easy to mod as possible. One thing that will be quite nice actually is as the game slowly picks up steam and gets further and further into its development, we should hopefully see some track creators working their way over here as well. Obviously we've already got Resolute over there, who in his own right is a very good track creator, more on the enduro side of things. Interested to see what he could do in terms of a national or supercross track as well, outside of enduro. But you know, we've got that enduro element there. Quite at the moment, the scene is, or the Discord is full of mostly like road bike users. I'm trying to think of the best way of wording that then. But that is to be expected. That's what the game was built on. It's only motocross recently that's really kind of come into the developers' interests. So hopefully, over the next maybe year or so, we should see some very, very good things. And I feel like they're looking at other games, seeing what other games are doing and aren't doing, and trying to do their best. I don't know if it's ever going to be like a full-on simulator to the extent that like MX Sim, for example, tries to be. I feel like it'll probably end up bridging that gap between Sim and the more arcade games, kind of how Bikes does right now. Obviously, it'll be a lot different to Bikes eventually. I mean, they've only really been working on the motocross stuff for, how long's it been? Maybe like half a year or so now. So I think it's really, really good, especially considering that the motocross side isn't the only thing that they work on. They do in all sorts of other stuff with the GP stuff. But yeah, there's oh god, stop. There we go. So the game actually has two different modes when you load into a track. It's got Pro Physics, which I am on currently. Then it's got, oh my Jesus, and then it's got, well, they actually call it Newbie Physics. And the in-air kind of movement stuff is greatly limited on the Newbie Physics. And I know that they probably look a little bit scuffed at the moment in terms of the whipping and things like that, but it's all very, very early doors. I know that at least one of the developers I've seen multiple times where he's kind of like linked papers that he's reading in terms of all sort of, it's way past my small brain can comprehend, like the actual kind of scientific physics side of things of how a bike flies through the air and whips and this, that and the other. It's really, really cool to see him kind of getting that excited into it and going that in depth as well. And I don't think I was wrong with my kind of initial video that I ever done on this game, thinking that this could be a real good contender for one of the top motocross games in a couple of years, maybe like 1-2 years as well, even the short notice as that. Oh, I did not want to crash. I'll tell you why I didn't want to crash, because now I need to remember. One other bug that I need to quickly report is when you crash, your camera gets reset. So let me go to camera 2. There we go. Well, actually, should I... Oh, God, I can't remember how to do this. There we go. Should I go into first person quickly? I know they messed with the first person camera a little bit, so you can kind of see more of the bike as you're riding at the same time. It's a lot quieter. This... send it! Stretch it out. Oh, that was pretty clean. What is it? Yeah, no, this first person camera definitely feels better than it used to. I think they toggled it so it looks more to like the horizon than down at the bike itself, which I think is really, really good. Something that I think Sim needs to implement at some point. I know MX Bikes does it where you're kind of looking at the horizon the whole time. That's where your eye line is, more so than kind of moving with the bike. I feel like the head should be free. It shouldn't move exactly the same as the front fender does. Doesn't make much sense to me. That's not how motocross works. It's not what you see. Your head doesn't tilt exactly the same as the front fender all the time. Slow it down into here. Very, very quiet in first person, I might add. I know it's because obviously the sound comes out the back of the bike in these games, but that is something else that I might write down and try and report back. A lot of the time when I'm recording these videos for you guys, I check in kind of every couple of weeks or so, and that really is my only game time on it for the time being. So it's in these videos. Oh my god! Oh, that looked weird. Oh, I've never crashed in first person before. How do I? Oh, there we go. That's actually pretty sick. I quite like that. I quite like how you kind of look around, pick our bike up, walk over to it, pick her up, swing a leg over. There we go. Get into second gear, hit the electric start, and we go again. That's cool. I don't think I've ever crashed in first person in this game before. It's always been third. That's quite nice. I like that you literally stay. It's almost like a low peak. Oh god. What's the word? Just like a chin. I think it's like a chin camera. It's not high enough to be top of the helmet, and I think it's a little bit too high to be chest cam. But, oh, please land, please land, please land. God, I keep forgetting to stand up. Every time I keep looking down to my right and seeing I'm still sat down, which obviously if you sat down the entire time in the air, it's not going to go to plan too well. But I think you guys can probably see from the gameplay right in front of you that things seem to be a hell of a lot smoother than they used to be. Let's go back to the camera that I usually ride in. If I go into third person, press number 2 on my keyboard. There we go, and we're back. Let's go back to this. I just find it much easier. You can see it's a lot smoother than it used to be. I don't know if that's just because it is a nationals track as opposed to the Supercross track that we had previously. Should probably go and revisit some Supercross at some point. But I'm really, really impressed. You know, it is young. It's going to get there. It's going to take some time. I forgot to stand up again. Sit down. It seems like staying sat down in the air greatly reduces the amount of distance you get, or the amount of airtime you get. That could be something to kind of consider for scrubs and stuff. What's the whipping like? Whipping's a little bit weird. But you know what? For early doors, I have no issues with that whatsoever. Quite nice, because it feels like you generally have to like roll on the throttle coming out of these corners. Because I'll try and bang on the throttle coming out of this corner here. See how it feels. Like bang it on. See, it's a little bit slidey. I think they've done a lot of work to make it a bit more controllable. Previously, when I was playing on, oh god, what track was it? I think the Israel sand track that they moved over with the creators' permission. I want to add. It was so easy to lose that rear end traction, like to an unrealistic point. But they've done some good tuning by the looks of it. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm really excited for, oh god, when the modding side becomes like super easily accessible, so we can get different gears and this, that and the other. I might even be able to get a gear with my name and number on the back. That's what we all like to see in these games. But I just want to give a shout out to these guys as well, because it's very, very nice to see people be both excited and take such pride in their work at the same time. Now, I have quite often seen people make a suggestion in the dev chat that we've got going on, just saying, oh, could this be done this way, or this needs changing, or there's this bug, and you'll find either within a couple hours or the very next day they've released another like new build of the game saying, can you please go and test this out and let me know if the problem is still there. And I love how quick the turnaround is. It really, really helps from a developing standpoint and a testing standpoint to have pretty regular access to newer versions. Because let's say you test something out, maybe it's just, let's talk about traction for example, maybe you're testing traction out and you say, oh, this maybe it could be a little grippier in this scenario, and it takes 2 weeks or so for it to be changed. Next time you go and test it again, are you really going to remember fully how it felt the time before? Because I don't believe that would be the case. I always think the opinions are a little bit skewed in that regard, so it's really, really nice to see how quick their turnaround is in terms of getting new builds out to people. And I think as well it just shows, one, a level of professionalism, but two, just a genuine interest in what they're creating. And that's the most important thing at the end of the day. And being a small team as well, you know full well that they'll really value the community side of things. It's not like one of these massive AAA games that kind of release a unpolished piece of turd, I think is the nicest way of putting it. I will not be giving that game another go. So it's nice to see, and it's good to be a part of as well. They all seem like friendly enough guys, and they really, really value feedback. So if you do ever get around to kind of buying the game on Steam at any point, I'm not too sure where exactly you find their Discord. I don't know if it's on the Steam page or whatever. But by all means, pop in there and leave some messages and feedback as to what you think needs to be improved. It seems like they're all ears, they're open to what people have to say. And I think the more the merrier as well. The more eyes we get on it, the better. And then the more and more creative people will come over as well, and hopefully bless us with some very nice tracks, so the guys haven't got to keep importing over tracks from other games. It'd be really, really nice if these could get released in the normal game as well, not just in these development versions. And I like at least that they're not just ripping tracks and kind of claiming it as their own, you know, just releasing it on the full game. And nice that they've got that kind of level of respect and decency, just to use it for testing purposes only and go no further than that. And I'm going to hit this lead one more time, see if we can throw a trick over it. Oh no, I look back. Oh god, I landed it, it's fun. I was going to give people the middle finger, because if you hold right on the D-pad, for me at least, you can flip people off, which I think is pretty cool. You can do a bit of a knee knocker and look behind you with a down arrow, and then just do a cheeky no-hander, going Valentino Rossi style, pull your pants out your ass. Yeah, no, really good. I'm really pleased with the game's progress so far. I've got a few things that I'm going to feed back to the guys, and like I said, they'll be pretty damn quick on the turnaround. And let me know what you guys think on the game compared to the last video that I made on it. Do you think it's heading in the right direction? Do you think maybe there's some things that are going wrong, things that they can improve on? And let me know. If you haven't bought it yet, what's the reason for it? What are you waiting on? What do you want to see implemented? And I'm more than happy to take that feedback and put it back to the guys. I know full well that they watch all these videos. They've commented every now and then on their TrackDayR YouTube account as well, which is really cool to see. And I think that'll do it from me. I hope you guys have a lovely day, whatever it is you're up to. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is that you're up to, again, for the second time, because I get really awkward in these outros and never know how to end them. And that'll do it from me. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want.